In 2025, data, not algorithms, became AI's scarcest resource. Even the most precise model will drift if it's trained on low-quality or incomplete samples. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out. SnapLogic estimates that poor data quality can cost companies up to 6% of annual revenue due to misguided analytics, while VentureBeat reports an almost 9% decline in average enterprise dataset quality since 2021. Models turned data-hungry and now demand accurate, up-to-date, well-balanced inputs. Against this backdrop, a new standard is taking hold: data provenance. Since 2024, enterprises have been migrating to infrastructures where the origin of every dataset is verified and controlled. MIT's Data Provenance Project found that over half of public AI datasets contain licensing errors, and 70% have incomplete source metadata. The EU now requires large AI providers to publish summaries of training data, mandated by the AI Act entering into force in August 2025. Transparency matters, but it's only half the equation. At scale, a bigger challenge is the instability and uneven availability of training data. Data sources vary by quality, structure, legal status, and geography, introducing sampling bias and compliance risk. Layer in GDPR, DPA, and SCC obligations, and it becomes clear collection isn't just a technical problem. It requires a governed, ethically aligned infrastructure. That's why leading AI platforms are adopting consent-based data collection, where every element in a training set has verified provenance and legal clarity. Today, stable, controlled access to high-quality training data isn't merely an engineering task, it's a new competitive moat. Our client is a US and EU-based tech company working in AI and big data analytics. Their ML models processed more than 25 terabytes of information every month, pulling from public websites, marketplaces, and open APIs. As scale grew, collection became unstable. Large API calls were increasingly blocked. More than a third of attempts ended in rejections or empty responses. The success rate fell to roughly 62%, leaving gaps in training sets. Geographic imbalance introduced data skew. Models performed best in the US and Western Europe, but stumbled on Asian and Latin American segments with thinner coverage. With incomplete samples, teams had to run extra training epochs, essentially recomputing the same data, which pushed compute costs up by double-digit percentages and lengthened model prep time. Thousands of parallel streams caused session drops. The pipeline lost entire chunks of data, and retries bogged down validation. This wasn't a one-off outage, but a common symptom of AI platforms that build training conveyors without production-grade proxy infrastructure and observability. Without network-level policy and telemetry, even a great model learns from fragmented data, and your analytics bend out of shape. To eliminate instability and accelerate training, Proxy-Seller engineered a production-grade data access layer for the client. At its core, a distributed network of real residential IPs across key markets: the US, Germany, the UK, Canada, Singapore, and the Netherlands. That allowed simultaneous lossless collection across regions, maintaining steady throughput even at 25+ terabytes per month. We added dynamic IP rotation to mimic natural user behavior and avoid blocks, plus session stickiness for stable ingestion of large datasets. Granular geo-controls via API let the client's teams shape training samples precisely by country, language, and content category, without gaps or bias. Load balancing across IP pools kept performance steady, even with thousands of concurrent streams. The outcome wasn't just a proxy, but a fully managed data layer with built-in access policies, logging, and auditability, aligned with modern AI LLM data supply standards and compliant with DPA, SCC, and AUP. This gave the client transparent control over sources, production-grade stability, and complete training coverage, the foundation for faster, more reliable model training at global scale. After Proxy-Seller's infrastructure went live, the platform fully stabilized its model training process. Success rates jumped from 62 to 91%, while blocks and rejections fell by nearly 70%. Dataset prep speed increased by roughly 45%, cutting repeated iterations and shrinking time between training cycles. With fuller data, validation accuracy rose by 12 to 15%, and the system consistently processed over 25 terabytes monthly without performance degradation. In business terms, that means a lower CPVR, cost per valid response, shorter time to train, and, most importantly, faster time to market for new models. For the client, this wasn't just a technical upgrade. It was a strategic acceleration of AI product development. This case makes one thing clear. In 2025, the priority isn't gathering more data, it's gathering data consistently and lawfully. The winning approach is policy-based. Every request has transparent provenance, controlled sources, and network-level audit. The key metric is VRR, the valid response rate, the share of requests that return correct data. VRR drives model accuracy, pipeline stability, and infrastructure ROI. Consent-based collection doesn't slow you down, it speeds you up. When sources are legal and policies are transparent, integrations move faster and model rollouts get shorter. AI platforms are undergoing the same evolution DevOps once did, from chaotic experiments to controlled processes and accountability. By 2026, data traceability will be table stakes, and you won't build it without ethical residential proxies. This is the cultural shift Proxy-Seller stands behind. Every request has a source, every session has a policy, and every model earns trust. In modern AI, it's simple. Reliable data equals reliable models. In a world where the speed and quality of data decides who wins, Proxy-Seller builds the rails those data run on. We're an infrastructure provider for companies working with big data, AI models, and large-scale automation. Our team helps enterprise clients build production-ready proxy layers, secure, ethical, and scalable systems for collection across analytics, advertising, and model training. If this resonates, subscribe to the Proxy-Seller channel for practical case studies, market analysis, and infrastructure insights. Ready to scale your own stack? Choose your enterprise plan at proxyseller.com, and our experts will help you design the optimal architecture for your business. See you in the next video.